This is Trabr. We're creating the technology and the ecosystem for everything building. We're creating a market network which boasts a marketplace and a mobile-first, cloud-based suite of project control tools for builders, consumers, trades, suppliers, for everybody. All on the smartphone, all remote, all mobile, all for building. This is Trabr, and this is a building conversation. Good morning, this is Tony Huxley from Trabr Limited. I'm glad to be joining you today. Tony Rouady, General Manager of Network Building Supplies. G'day, Tone, how are you?
Tony, I'm well.
Excellent, good to hear. Thanks for joining us, really appreciate you making the time. And those products are essentially commercial or medium density residential?
Correct.
Yeah.
And small residential using them now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You see a lot of house facades now have ALPOLIC on the garage doors.
Yeah.
On small little facade elements, and take away the fire performance. A 20-year full replacement warranty tells you this product's going to be good for a long time.
So you think we might see a few ALPOLIC clad houses in the near future?
I think they're already up now. So
oh, really?
There's plenty going on now. But obviously we're proud to support a company like that, as we are with CSR and all of our other products we sell.
Yeah.
We love being involved with companies that are, that back their products, that make great products. We're all in the industry because we love building. You're involved in the industry because you love it.
Big time.
It's the basis of most economies is the construction industry, isn't it? So. For us,
they've been aligned with brands that are innovating. I mean, that's got to be.
You've nailed it, Tony. You've got better words than me.
Yeah.
But the product they produce for Australia first, the ALPOLIC NC, it makes us very proud because of the way they've innovated.
Oh, nice.
They've produced something that's performs better than anything I've ever seen, in all aspects: the durability, the fire safety, everything, the energy efficiency. They've ticked all the boxes, and so that's just one example. I don't want this to become an ALPOLIC advertisement.
You clearly. I mean, it's not an advertisement, but clearly you have the belief that this is the growth space for your business.
I believe that, and secondly, it's such a topical issue, isn't it, cladding? And,
and
then when
in such a big way,
because we are involved with it day to day.
Yeah,
we know a lot of the facts. When I don't blame the average person when you hear cladding to say, oh, that's the stuff that burns. So for us, it does get frustrating when you see some of the perception when someone says, oh, that's an ACP. It's crazy. It's like comparing a very inferior product to the most superior in any product category, but saying they're all bad. It just makes no sense.
Yeah.
You can't ban a category. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, it's no different to you can't criticise all builders because one Muppet's on a current affair 100%. Who's done the wrong thing.
100%. And Tony, that's an awesome analogy. It's like saying you can't trust any builders.
Yeah, because that's ridiculous.
So we've got a duty now to say, hang on, the leading product in the world is being excluded a lot on Australia's taxpayer-funded buildings and that because we're scared of this whole category. Many that are educating it, because it is allowed to be used, of course, we've passed all of the requirements. So when they're educating themselves, a lot of these companies and underwriters and whoever we have to convince, they're saying, great, you can use it. So we are getting jobs with these, but a lot of tier 1 type work, there's a stigma around the category. So even if you've got the best product in the world, you're in that category, I better not use you.
But I suppose, without dwelling on this too long, because we've got so many other things I want to ask you, but it must be a little bit like insulation.
Yes.
I mean, people stop using foil-backed insulation for a reason, but they still insulate.
Correct. There's a lot of analogies, Tony, and I just can't get my head around the panic here when you say ACP, which is a category, aluminium composite panel.
Understood, yeah.
But what's in the composite doesn't seem to be an issue. It's like, oh no, but it's a composite panel. And the core of the Mitsubishi product has been proven to be non-combustible.
Yeah.
It's a mineral core. The bad composite panels were the 100% polyethylene.
Yeah, understood.
So like fuel.
Yeah.
Now, 30% or less polyethylene has been proven in fires to perform well. So the old ALPOLIC, well, not the old, I was even called the ALPOLIC FR, which is still allowed on Class C buildings and 3 stories and below.
Yep.
Doesn't propagate flame, performs beautifully. It's got less than 30% polyethylene in it.
Yeah.
So that still performs well. And in some countries, that's called non-combustible anyway. But it's just because of our rules here. The ALPOLIC NC, which got a pure mineral core, does not propagate flame, performs well in a fire, but because it's made up of aluminium skins with a core, you have to categorise it as an aluminium composite panel. So the default has been, well, hang on, we'll go to solid aluminium because there's no core, so it must be better. But solid aluminium melts a lot quicker and falls off buildings and all these other problems.
Really?
Oil cans over time, so the aesthetics are going to be an issue. So there's other problems. They stopped using solid aluminium 30, 40 years ago for a reason. It used to be the go-to product. It's a heat conductor from energy efficiency.
Yeah, true.
And the emissions in manufacturing.
It'd shoot your energy rating to pieces, wouldn't it, if you did that?
Exactly, but that's where most government buildings, that's where they're forced to go. A lot of builders and contractors are understanding, no, this is not what I want to use.
Yeah.
But they'll get to the bottom line, the owner's insurer will say, oh, sorry, it's solid aluminium only. Hang on, but I've got an ACP tick, so that's exactly what's happening, Tony.
Really?
100%. Sorry, that's our edict, solid aluminium. Because people feel by saying solid aluminium, I'm taking no risk. But if you see solid aluminium perform on a full-scale fire test, it won't propagate flame, all the way up the building, which is obviously the worst part. That's good. It won't do that. But it still melts and falls off in clunks. And, on a full-scale wall test, the product we've got outperforms it significantly. I've seen it with my own eyes, and paid for the tests and seen it. And so that's why we have a duty now to educate the market. If there's other manufacturers making something as good as ALPOLIC, I'd say, mate, you've got a choice of 2 or 3.
Yeah.
It's not about just saying, but there is none backed by a globally trusted company that I've seen.
Yeah.
Most of the solid going up here are imported, backed by a local distributor warranty for companies that may not have been around.
Which I guess is, not to be critical, but largely meaningless.
That's right. Yeah, and the thing with that, Tony, is we're taxpayers. There's a lot of taxpayer funded jobs going on now with reclads, and they're still putting on, cheap products. Maybe most of them imported from China. There's some good stuff that comes from China. I'm not saying, not bagging that as such, but that's what's happening here, and they're made for and they're branded for the distributor.
Yeah.
The Mitsubishi product is manufactured in Japan. Their quality control is second to none. It's chalk and cheese. Now, if there was 3 other large manufacturers making something similar, Tony, I would tell you, just because I'm selling one, which is Mitsubishi, I'd say, Tony, there's 2 or 3 other brilliant ones as well. But I haven't seen one.
And at the end of the day, consumers, regardless of whether they're builders, contractors, or the end consumer, they need choice.
They do, and the thing is, at the moment, because a lot of people aren't in the industry like we are, and they're not, I know I've focused on it a lot, but if the builder says, look, this is what I'm putting up, it looks good, you peel it off, it looks fine, but what's it going to be like in 5, 10 years, regardless of fire?
Yeah. What's
the paint quality like? All these other issues are sort of being ignored. What's the energy? But putting solid aluminium for your energy rating is not good.
No, a western-facing unit with solid aluminium, I think they call it an oven.
But that's what we're building now.
Yeah.
Tony, you've nailed it. That's what they're building, because the core has insulative properties and it breaks that heat conduction. So, mate, I know I've harped on about it. But
it's topical, it's interesting.
But what we're upset about, not just because we want to sell product, take that. What's actually getting put on is, I know that it's not the right way to go.
Yeah.
Solid aluminium to clad buildings is to me is not the long-term way to go.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Tony Rouady, I appreciate your time. Thanks for joining me this morning.
Thanks, Tony.